Hello, brothers and sisters of light and dark. Welcome to my page. My page is about common sense. I tried to keep it down under the nitty gritty, under 10 minutes. And if it goes over 10 minutes, there's something very, very, very fucking important. And not important to liberals, libertards, people who believe in God, people who like to smoke, people who like to drink, people like ayahuasca, people like alcoholism, people who just like to socialize in general. You're not supposed to watch my videos. This message is to all the aliens, the shapeshifters, the bats, and the werewolves, and the alien greys, and the lizards too, goddammit, that have possibly trapped us here in this forsaken planet. I'm like on the Matrix, this world, the stench of it, okay? But there is a beauty in that stench, though. Heaven and hell is what you make it. But if you have any comments, questions, insults, or roasters, you put it down below. If you don't like asking questions, then you basically are going to have to leave my page because you are not special. If you like to jump to conclusions, you are not special, okay? All right, let's get on with the topic for today. I will look at this video, okay, and analyze it. And, of course, I was just running amok. And then I will basically give my description of what I feel here when I watch it. I will put down in the description box, okay, where I got it from. But I will not watch the whole thing in its entirety. And I have a right to use this. So I won't get any copyright infringement, okay? Okay, but I don't have money, so don't try to sue me, okay? Don't do that, okay? That's a waste of time. You're not going to get anything out of me, okay? And let's begin. If you have any comments, questions, insults, or roast fest, you put it down below. This is like, how are you doing, Jordan Peterson, okay? As I said before, okay, I'm just inquiring, okay, and asking questions about why this is posted. And I know exactly how Jordan Peterson feels. But let's listen to what he has to say.
I had a guest actually come on this podcast before Jimmy Carr. Jimmy Carr was on 2 weeks ago, and we had a great conversation about happiness and the nature of happiness. And the guest before Jimmy Carr wrote in my diary, which is a tradition we have now, where all the guests that come on write a question for the next guest. So there is a question in there for you. But the guest wrote a question which changed his life, which is, are you happy? And from reading your work and understanding your position on happiness and it not being the thing to aim for, which really struck me because I thought, I thought life was the North Star of our lives was to try and be happy. Mm-hmm. I guess my question is, I was going to ask you that question.
Aim to be good and pray for happiness.
So the question I was going to is pretty much that is, what is a better question for me to ask you if I'm checking in on you? Because we asked that question with good intentions. Mm-hmm. Are you happy? What's a better question for me to ask Jordan Peterson?
How are you doing?
How are you doing? How are you doing?
Brilliantly and terribly. That's when you listen to a profound piece of music, one that sort of spans the whole emotional experience, it's not happy. Happy is elevator music, and probably you just shouldn't listen to that at all, right? And you think, why? Well, it's harmless, it's treacly, it's sweet, it's simple, it lacks depth, it's shallow, that's a problem. It doesn't have that deep sense of awe and horror, I would say, that is characteristic of the best of all music. You listen to some simple music, so-called. Hank Williams is a good example. The blues cowboy from the 50s who died of alcoholism when he was 27 and whose voice sounds like an 80-year-old man. Simple melody, but there's nothing simple in the song and in the voice. It's deep, it's like the blues. It's like black blues in the States from the 20s, and this was certainly influenced by that tradition. There's this admission of a deep suffering at the same time as you get the beautiful transcendence of the music. And that's meaning, that's awful in the most fundamental sense, but you need an antidote to suffering, and it has to be deep. And deep moves you tectonically, and it's not a trivial thing. But that's better than happiness. And maybe if you're lucky while you're pursuing that and while you're immersed in it, you get to be happy, and you should fall on your knees and be grateful for that when it happens. It's a gift. It really is a gift. And it comes upon you unexpectedly, your happiness, But you aim to climb uphill to the highest peak you can possibly envision. And that's better than happiness.
Why did you include terribly?
Well, for example, now when I go, wherever I go in the world, people come up to me and they're usually, I wouldn't say they're happy to see me. They're often in tears, and they often have a pretty rough story to relate. They were suicidal or nihilistic or homicidal or trapped, desperate, and they tell me that real fast. And then they say, I've overcome that to a large degree, and thank you for that. And you think, well, that's really something to have that happen over and over. In some ways, you might think, well, how could anything better possibly happen to you than to have people come up to you all over the world, strangers, and open themselves up like that, like they're old friends so quickly. But at the same time, it's an awful thing, because you see, even in the revelation of their triumph, the initial depth of their despair. So I wouldn't change that. But it's not nothing. And it's certainly not just happiness. It's better than happiness, but it's almost unbearable.
That's enough. That's enough. Dude, get it together, man. You're being watched by the Archeons. You're being watched, dog. Ever since I was 7 years old, I kind of realized to learn about psychology and the flaws of this reality. But overall, I was told through the inner voices in my schizoness when I was younger, to weep means the planet will burn because you control this planet. You control this planet, Mr. Jordan Peterson. And what happened to me, different from you, is that when I was younger, I had a dream. And I was taken up in a spacecraft. And then I went on a spaceship and I'd seen nothing but silhouettes of shadows of people. It was in the dark, but I could read all of their minds. And all of them, I sensed even one being that was called Jesus, but they got his name misconstrued on the planet. He considered himself Jesus, but people got him misconstrued because there were many other Jesuses that was on the planet. And they all pointed at the planet. And telepathically they said, do you want to destroy it? And then I was like, why would I want to destroy the planet? This is at the age of 7 to 8 years old. Before I almost chopped my stepdad's head off. I got my voices when I was 7. But I was wondering if Jordan Peterson got his. I don't think he ever got his raison d'etre. His third eye is not open yet. When you have too many tears, you don't understand that we're living in the Matrix. Okay? And his tears represent the pain of someone not even bothering to ask how he was doing in this life. Hallelujah. I felt the pain. But you may get a different variation, a different feel of why he was weeping. But when no one really cares for you, but at the same time, there are people who do care about you, that dark side comes out in tears. And those people who live in ignorance, who tend to hurt his feelings or try to make threats or defame his character, that causes him pain. Because when you break down like that, you are still in your beta mode, regardless of how much wisdom you have. But there's a curse. The more wisdom you have, the more you gotta keep it to yourself. Because sometimes you're getting all this attention. There's a lot of asses of masses out there, Jordan Peterson. And I'd rather keep it simple. I don't try to get too technical, because most people can't comprehend the technical aspect of what you have done. You have done a brilliant job. I've been watching you for years. I've been watching you, Jordan Peterson, for years. But you don't have to weep for these little people of the world. But you don't have to say that, because you're not, because you're popular. Okay, I know you'll lose a lot of fans if you call it. A lot of people are soft. But I recommend, to build your character up, you're going to have to start being cold. You're going to have to start being calculating. But at the same time, understand that you need a balance in order to not weep for these people in this world. No matter how small or great. Look into my eyes. I become the cold black heart for those who are dark. I have become God. And then you have to say that to yourself, because you are God. With the power that you have, okay, you don't have to weep for these people, because there's a lot of people who sacrifice themselves for the puny humans. Do you understand that you may not even be human at all? But I think you forgot your mission. I think you forgot your mission while you're here. And I think maybe you may find that voice, that third eye, and tell you that you're God, okay? And you might not want to do that, though, because you're so popular. You know how some people are. Some people, oh, the person who calls himself God is delusional, okay, you know. But other than that, I digress here. I love you all, but I hate the many of you. And that's what I got out of the video of his emotions. He broke down, and I like to break down too, but in a different way. I don't like weeping and crying. Sometimes I'm faking. If I would do that, unless he's faking, I don't think he's faking. Okay, because there's too much. There was too much pause. Okay, there was too much pause. But other than that, that's all I really gotta say. Look at the message here. You make the world a better place. Okay, but okay, it's a roller coaster. Okay, you know, for years, yeah, me too. Okay, he's a very inspiration. He's a bit long-winded, though. I just like to get to the point. But if anyone who wants things to be broken down, you should charge them. You know, because I don't try my best to impress people with technicalities, because they have to be charged for that. Like women, when they come to me, transvestites, when they come to me, homosexuals, they come to me, they have to be charged for the technicalities. You cannot put too much of your technicalities on the internet. You can't do that. You will be attacked. Okay? And somebody might even try to get you, so you got to be careful. And keep strong. Be strong, Jordan Peterson. I love you, man. I hope everything goes fine with you, okay? Because no harm should come to you, okay, as well, okay? Maybe I'll come to you in my dreams, okay? But, of course, you have to realize that you're God. You cannot go upon this like everyone is God. You have the capability to destroy the planet. Every time a meteor hits this planet, it's because someone who has so much hate and despite in this beautiful, nightmarish world, they want to see it reset from time to time. But on the other side, it's completely different. We don't need memory and practice of anything on the other side. In this world, we are in trial and error. And in this world, you're here to experience new beginnings. Every time we're reincarnated. Each time. But try to hold the tears, because what happens is that when people see you break down, they talk negative about you, okay? They don't. There's evil people. They're here to test you, you know that. They're here to test you. And that's all I really got to say, guys. So anyone who finds this video fucking interesting, you can do what you like to do with it, okay? I'm just going on because I saw this video, and I thought it was an excellent video just to watch. I love you all, but I hate the many of you, because I'm not your average man. I'm not Jaw Peter Pan. And kudos to you, Jordan Peterson. I love you all. Especially Ben Shapiro. Okay, I like him too, you know. As quick and witty as he is. All right, I'm out of here. My daughter's waking up now. Gotta give him something to eat. Peace.